Hello everyone, this is DC and Marvel Collector on YouTube. Just recording a new room tour video. This will be part one because it's my collection's now in two different rooms. So just wanted to show off kind of what I have now, and this is part one. So I'll start off with this wall over here. So I have my Flash sideshow art prints. I have a Rorschach art print still, artist on Instagram. Have my Reverse Flash by XM Studios, quarter scale, and the Flash Rebirth variant cover with Reverse Flash. Then I have the Atrocitus custom quarter scale statue. Down here I just have some miscellaneous kind of coffee table books, some encyclopedias from Marvel and DC, some history books, Kobe, Dirk Nowitzki, basketball, Star Wars stuff. And over here we have Sinestro quarter scale sideshow premium formats with the lenticular Villains Month Sinestro #1 issue next to it. Then over here I have the quarter scale XM Studios Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. Awesome piece. Then coming over here, this part of the room, so the room's kind of split in two different sides. So over here we have kind of all X-Men stuff. Over here is all DC. And then where we just came from is kind of another little DC corner with lanterns and Reverse Flash. So right here we have XM Apocalypse, quarter scale. Also an incredible statue. Love how XM does their little name plaques. And then the Alex Ross Apocalypse cover. Up here we have just kind of some X-Men stuff on the wall. So an Apocalypse single issue, X-Men art print, a Magneto art print where he has a Sentinel, and a Magneto art print where he's kind of manipulating and tearing out Wolverine's skeleton. Have the Magneto from Sideshow quarter scale statue. I still like this more than the new one that they're coming out with, to be honest. I love the base. People complain about the cape, but it's honestly a pretty great fabric cape. Wolverine, still my favorite quarter scale Wolverine, other than one custom out there from Sideshow. And then XM Studios Sabretooth. Awesome piece. I also like the Sideshow, but I like the XM a little bit more. The mane is incredible. His claws. Behind Sabretooth, I have a art print of Wolverine fighting Sabretooth. And then Wolverine Origins #1 and Sabretooth #1 variant cover. And then a classic X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 213 Wolverine Sabretooth cover. I have a couple of those. X-Lies of Wolverine, Weapon X cover, Cyclops, Storm, and Nightcrawler, my other kind of three favorite X-Men. And then above all of that, one of my favorite art pieces in my collection, the Alex Ross kind of recreation of Jim Lee's iconic cover, Alex Ross X-Men versus Magneto cover. Beautiful, beautiful art. And then I won't go through every single book like I did in my other room tours before, but this is my whole X-Men collection of books, right? Because it all starts with the books. So You know, you got the Claremont run, which I have almost all of, and then going into the more modern stuff like New X-Men and Astonishing X-Men, you know, and then the Necrosha and um, Second Coming and X-Force and all that good stuff. Legion, and then my whole Wolverine collection, the Omnis that Marvel's been collecting, and then the Jason Aaron stuff, Wolverine Origin. And then I have all the X-Men Krakoan era. Well, not all of it, actually. I'm missing the Trials of X stuff, but I have all the major hardcovers that have come out so far. That Hickman started with, House of X, Powers of X. I don't have all of them, actually. I need Hellions. I really want that one. I don't really care about Cable, but I have a lot of it. And then this is my TV setup. So the X-Men stuff is all on the left and Alex Ross print is above it. So yeah, this is my 4K TV. PS5 is behind the TV. Got the controller. And then this is my, I kind of have two different areas for movies and games. So there's more movies behind those. That's some of my favorite Marvel and DC movies. My games, really like the Dark Souls FromSoft games like Elden Ring and Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. Then Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, some other movies. There's more behind there. Yeah, and then the PS5 is right there, covered behind a towel for dust. All right, and then moving on to the DC collection. So this is my favorite art print that I have. This is the Ian McDonald Justice League print. It just has almost all my favorite DC heroes on it. Absolutely beautiful. Still have the Trinity, all from Sideshow, the Wonder Woman, Batman by Martine Canelli, and the Superman. Still love all three of those. And then behind Wonder Woman, I have two of my favorite Wonder Woman covers. Wonder Woman 23 is probably, of the New 52, is probably my favorite Wonder Woman issue of all time. I still have the Jim Lee DC Trinity art print to match the three statues in front of it. And then one of my favorite Superman covers from Rebirth, and then the General Zod Villains Month issue, just like the Sinestro issue I have over there. Then right above that, I still have the Dark Side Jim Lee art print. And now I have my custom, well, this is a Sideshow Dark Side, but it's been custom repainted. It looks incredible. There's another portrait too that I've posted before that has his angry face with his Omega beams about to activate, just like the art print. And he's holding Superman's cape, which is a custom add-on, but you can also hold a mother box in his hand as well. And then above Darkseid, you got some awesome variant cover up there of him holding Superman's cape to match the statue. Brainiac cover of Action Comics, and then Justice League New 52 Darkseid War. And then coming down, we have Brainiac by Prime One Studios. Incredible piece, one of my two Prime One pieces. The base is amazing, and also lights up of his ship. And then below Darkseid and next to Superman, I have my whole kind of Superman collection. Again, I won't name every book, but I have the majority of my favorite Superman books. And then after that, I have my Wonder Woman collection. Still need Superman Batman Omnibus Volume 2. But yeah, and then that's my Wonder Woman books, and Justice League, and Batman animated series, physical media. Oh, and right below the Trinity, I still have a bookshelf that's not complete. So I have some more Superman. It's kind of my overflow. And then Nightwing. So I have this little, I think Diamond Select Nightwing little mini statue. And then my Nightwing collection. I have more Nightwing as well, but those are my hardcovers for Nightwing. And then going up, I have Martian Manhunter art print. Love him. Black Manta lenticular Villains Month issue cover. Aquaman New 52. I have my Sideshow Flash premium format exclusive, where he's holding Captain Cold's gun, sculpted by Daniel Bell. Flashpoint Reverse Flash cover, and one of my favorite covers of all time, Flash Rebirth #1. I have the Tweeterhead 6 scale. I don't really like smaller than quarter scale anymore, but I do still love this statue. It's one of the ones, my only like smaller statue I have on display. Well, I have 2 5th scales as well, but this is my only one downstairs. Awesome piece where he's kind of like using his ring to pour bullets into the turret he's created in his construct. And then 2 of my favorite Green Lantern covers, Blackest Night, both of those. And then the Sinestro core cover, and the Red Lanterns with Atrocitus, which I have statues of both of those. This is just not on the shelf right now. I just got it recently, the second omnibus of Green Lantern Corps by Tomasi. And then I have the Jon Stewart Sideshow Green Lantern exclusive as well. Awesome statue. If I come down, this is my whole kind of DC collection other than Batman. So starting in the corner over here, got my Justice League stuff. So New 52, Rebirth, some of the Morrison 90s stuff, Aquaman. I have the Aquaman by Peter David Omnibus coming in soon. Hawkman, my Flash collection. So Jeff Johns, Mark Waid, Joshua Williamson, Francis Manipool, and then Grant Morrison. And then I have my Green Lantern stuff. So I have the some of the Green Lantern, Green Arrow stuff, the Jeff Johns run, which is one of my favorites of all time. I have the Absolute Sinestro Core War, Brightest Day. So yeah, it's all Green Lantern. And then some more Jeff Johns. I have the JSA run and all in Omnibus. And then I have the my Green Arrow collection. I need the Omnibus of the Mike Grell stuff, but I just have the trade paperbacks, which I still like. And then a little bit of Martian Manhunter. Wish they had more of him. That's the rest of my Nightwing, so that's the Chuck Dixon stuff and trade paperback. Secret 6, which I don't really need the Omni for, I have the trades. The Marv Wolfman Deathstroke Omnibus I have coming in. And then my other 2 Deathstroke omnibuses of New 52 and Christopher Priest. And then this is kind of just like miscellaneous DC cosmic stuff. So Crisis on Infinite Earths, Destiny Crisis, some Tom King, Omega Man, Mr. Miracle, Legion of Superheroes, you know, the Fourth World, Orion stuff, Final Crisis. And then some DC events. So an Infinite Crisis 52, Justice Gods Among Us Volume 1. I don't have Volume 2. And then my DC Absolutes. So New Frontier, Justice, Kingdom Come, Multiversity. This is my little Alan Moore cover. Well, Doomsday Clock is not Alan Moore, but Watchmen, V for Vendetta, From Hell. And then that's actually a Sandman book. And then if I come down, this is kind of my like Vertigo stuff. That's actually extra head for Sabretooth right there. But I have DMZ, 100 Bullets, Scalped, Sleeper, American Vampire, Lucifer, I need Volume 2, Day Tripper, Sandman. This is actually Dark Horse, but I put it down here because it's Neil Gaiman. The American Gods and Norse mythology stuff with Sandman. And then coming down here, just got some extra Brainiac tentacles I'm not using. There's singles and stuff down here. Some miscellaneous trades. Another box with singles. Those are 2 recent books. I got Promethea, my other Vertigo stuff, Ex Machina, Planetary, Absolute Transmetropolitan, Absolute Preacher. And then coming up here is my Swamp Thing little corner. So beautiful art prints. He's kind of contemplating nature. I got the Sideshow Ian McDonald art print, Swamp Thing. And then one of my favorite statues, the XM Studios Swamp Thing. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And then below here is my Swamp Thing collection. So Alan Moore, New 52, Nancy Collins. And then Hellblazer. Don't have all of Hellblazer, but got a good amount. And then Justice League Dark, New 52 Rebirth. The Question. That's the rest of the Hellblazer that's also in the Garth Ennis Omnibus. And then Animal Man, I don't have the New 52 one. Still kind of need that. And then Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison and Demon Knights. So yeah, just to kind of round out what we just went through. Again, that's my DC collection, besides Batman. And then I have 2 chairs right here and a coffee table, 2 recliners, just kind of where I spend most of my time. So yeah, DC on the right, and then once you get to the TV, the left is all X-Men. The rest of my Marvel is in my other room, but this is all X-Men. And then coming around, I got this lamp right here that splits between Apocalypse and my other DC corner with my lanterns and Reverse Flash. I have another art print of the Lantern Spectrum that I haven't put up yet behind Sinestro, but that will go on that wall right there. And then if I come around here, I kind of have this little wall right here. That's my basically movie comic wall. So I have basically a representation of the Dark Knight trilogy, Christopher Nolan, and then my 2 favorite MCU films, Infinity War and Endgame. So this is the Dark Knight trilogy. Amazing art print from can't remember if it's Mondo or Bottleneck Gallery, but it has like representation of all 3 films from left to right. Really cool. And then right below that, I just have a poster I've had forever of Heath Ledger's Joker. And then kind of splitting in between those, on the left and the right, flanking it, I have Mondo Infinity War art prints. It's my favorite Marvel movie of all time. And then The Dark Knight's my favorite movie of all time. Infinity War second. And then Endgame, which I actually like the Endgame print a little bit more. I love the colors on it. But yeah, that's my movie wall. And then so that's everything Marvel and DC downstairs. Like I said, I'm going to film another room tour video. That's going to be part 2. But my other part of my downstairs collection of, as far as my art goes, I have a Star Wars wall. I had to have some Star Wars representation. So I have Darth Vader sideshow art print in the middle, and then 2 bottleneck gallery art prints of my 2 favorite Star Wars movies. So this one is Revenge of the Sith. Really awesome art piece. Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader. And then, yeah, just my favorite Star Wars character, as is a lot of people's, Darth Vader, sideshow. I'm not going to get any Star Wars statues. I do have some Star Wars novels that I have in a box and need to display somehow, but this is kind of my walkway of my downstairs, so I can't really do it here. But this is my favorite Star Wars print I have, though. This is the Empire Strikes Back, my second favorite Star Wars movie. So much detail and color in it. So yeah, that is my Star Wars wall. And then my last little wall of my collection is, I just call it kind of my fantasy wall. So I got Lord of the Rings and Berserk. So this is from Instagram artists. Really, these 2 of Berserk. So you got Guts and the Beast of Darkness. Sorry, the glare's so bad, but Guts slaying some apostles. And then this one is kind of shows most of the characters from Berserk. So it's got kind of Guts and his crew on the left, the good guys, and then the evil God Hand on the right, and Griffith, Femto, his apostles. And then this is Lord of the Rings, which kind of encompasses all the main characters of the 3 films. My favorite trilogy of all time. So yeah, guys, that is my, again, got the fantasy Berserk Lord of the Rings wall. I have more Berserk in another part of my collection. My Star Wars wall, basically to encompass my non-Marvel and DC loves, because Marvel and DC is definitely my 2 biggest loves, but I do love Star Wars, Berserk, and Lord of the Rings as well. So, but yeah, this is my part 1 of my new kind of collection setup. I really love how it turned out overall. But yeah, I'll do part 2 in a separate video. Hope you enjoyed part 1, and let me know if you have questions about anything in the collection or interested in anything, where to find something. I'm happy to help. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of 2024, and I'll probably be posting part 2 in the new year, 2025. Peace.